Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Post Falls Urban Renewal Commission November 18th meeting, 2021. I'd like to welcome everyone that's watching and here to our meeting, and we'll start off right away by calling the meeting to order. And Director Fountain, would you please call the roll?
Clemenson.
Here.
Coles.
Here.
Davis. Here. Boltzell.
Here.
Carstensen.
Here.
Crosby.
Here.
And Fleshman.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're good and have a quorum. Would you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Colin Cole?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And at the end. Okay, we've got a fairly busy agenda this morning. Under ceremonies, appointments, and announcements, the only thing that I would say, we do have a new commissioner that has been appointed by the mayor, who will be taking the place of Commissioner Carstensen when he retires at the end of December. And she's not here, so when we possibly see her in the December commission meeting, we'll introduce her at that time, and when she can, so everybody can see who she is, and we're looking forward to it. She's got an excellent background, and so we'll be doing that. Also, Post Falls City Council has three new councilmen that'll take effect in January from the election. That's Josh Walker, Nathan Ziegler, and Kenny Shove. And we'll be, the executive committee and the staff are going to be trying to meet with them over the next few weeks before the end of the year to talk about urban renewal, tell them what we know about it, and encourage any questions or comments that they might have to get them up to speed before they jump right in the mill. So anyway, I'm moving on. Conflict disclosure. Do any of the commissioners have any conflicts to disclose of anything on this agenda today? Okay, very good. I think we're 100% on that. We never seem to have conflicts. Those kind, anyway. Okay, moving on. Item 4, consent calendar. A number of items to look at there. Director Fountain.
Thank you. Item A in the consent calendar is the commission meeting minutes of October 21st. Item B is the Finance and Policy Committee minutes of November 4th. Item C is District Review Committee minutes of November 9th. Item D is the payables for this month, totaling $216,885.44. That includes a check to the City of Post Falls in the amount of $204,322.62 for sewer projects in the East Post Falls District. Item E is the bank activity report, which shows total in all funds of $3,444,308.13, with accrued interest for the month of $214.43. Item F is the financial reports as of October 31st. Item G is the agency bylaws amendment, where the City Council adopted Ordinance 1431 on November 2nd, which sets the commission terms at 4 years. We previously had them at 5 years, and so beginning in January, there will be 4 years, and it doesn't affect anybody's terms that you're currently serving. So the amendment reflects that change. Approval of the consent calendar will authorize a transfer of $216,885.44 to the First Interstate checking account for the monthly payables and $214.43 to the general fund for the accrued interest. And I would answer any questions.
Any questions?
Yes, for council, that's the only change to the bylaws, or were there other changes?
That was the only change.
That was the only change? Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I would move the approval of the consent calendar.
Thank you. Second. There's a second. Any further discussion or questions or whatever? It'll require a Not a voice vote, but yeah.
Roll call vote?
Yeah, roll call vote, sorry.
Clemenson,
Aye.
Coles,
Aye.
Davis. Aye. Baltzell,
Aye.
Carstensen,
Aye.
Crosby,
Aye.
and Fleshman.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, committee updates, finance and policy. Mr.
Finance,
Crosby?
the Finance Committee reviewed the financial statements that we just approved. I think that was done by Commissioner Fleischman. We also had a committee meeting. We discussed and analyzed the early payoff of the outstanding bonds on the Greens Ferry overpass, which is new business item number 8 on the agenda. We also discussed financial issues that we felt should be part of the Commission's strategic planning meeting in November 30th, and a general discussion about the role and function of the Finance Committee. It was a very productive meeting, and the minutes reflect the discussions in that meeting.
Very good. Any questions of finance and policy? Okay, district review, Commissioner Cole.
District Review Committee held a meeting on November 9th and reviewed all of the districts and had a general discussion over future districts and probably going to, I'm in the process of preparing a memo, hopefully done before our strategic review, and propose some potential changes to Policy 7 and how we coordinate plans with the owner participation agreements.
Excellent. Good. We look forward to that piece of it. And any questions on district review? Okay, communications, property, and personnel. Commissioner Carstensen?
We had a, excuse me, we had a meeting this morning, just before this one, to discuss our thoughts and plans for 2022. And it wasn't nothing carved in stone, but just an idea for the new executive director and the new commissioner to help them out. And I don't know that we got a lot accomplished, other than the fact that we wanted to hit the highlights for what to expect for 2022 and what the executive director can do to help the organization out by any suggestions or equipment needs and stuff like that. So did we get something accomplished? Yes.
Excellent.
Was it earth-shaking? No.
Well, if you get some more equipment, it would be.
Well, yeah, but they didn't think we needed any more.
Oh, very good. Good. Okay, any questions for this committee? Okay, seeing none, we'll move right on. Citizen comments, I'm not gonna go into that statement, other than if there were some, they'd have a chance to speak if it was on an issue not related to something on the agenda. That not being the case, so we'll move on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business to consider today? I see none floating around, so let's go to new business, because that's really exciting. So I'll turn that over. Do you want to do it, or do you want Lynn to do it? Why don't you do it?
I can do some of it, and then Lynn can pitch
Yeah.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Finance Committee met and discussed paying off the Washington Trust Bank on, for the Greens Ferry overpass. And Mark Bush at Washington Trust had provided a loan payoff amount of $1,408,821.74. That early payoff results in $51,000 savings in interest. And it still will allow the agency to meet our obligations in the East Post Falls District.
Mr. Chairman, I would just add to that. We began the process of creating the Greens Ferry overpass in September of 2013, when we had the public invited to an open house and provided the scope of the project. We started construction in October 2015 after a long process of securing IDT approval and the Federal Highway Department approval, and God knows who else's approval. We had a dedication ceremony, completed construction. We had a dedication ceremony in November of 2015. Total cost of the project was $15.4 million. We originated the loan for $13 million with a maturity date of September 1st, 2023. We're creating, if the commission approves this payoff, we are paying that loan off 15 months early, and in doing so, we're saving the taxpayers $51,000, as Diane indicated, $255 in interest savings, which we would have paid out had we extended the payoff of the loan through the maturity. So I think it's a great accomplishment. We envisioned a full interchange there. That was impossible with the Federal Highway Department. We created the overpass, which makes connectivity between the two sections of Post Falls and creates a bridge for our first responders to respond in a more timely manner. We designed it, we built it, we paid it off. So,
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any other comments people would like to make? If not, I do have a couple myself. That was quite a process. I think the hardest part of that process for the bridge and everything was getting past the state and the feds so we could move forward. And those of you that may or may not know, when we worked on this, and it didn't look like they were able to fund anything for us, and they were going to require a not roundabout, but exits and entrances on both sides of the freeway, which we didn't feel we had the money to do that. They had none that they were going to give us or that they had available. But what we did was designed it so that it can be done at a later time if in fact it's appropriate and the funding can be located. But it was an amazing process that we went through. Everybody participated and was part of that, that whole thing, and it was quite an experience. Probably the biggest thing that's happened in Post Falls in a long, long time. Many, many compliments from community members, and as I remind them, it was your money that paid for this through your tax increment on your homes and so on, and I think it's a joint effort, on not just with us, but with the entire community. And I think back on the day that we dedicated it, November of 2015, and standing up on top of the middle of the bridge with flags flying, and the band was there, and there's at least 500 people, I think, up there, including fire trucks and police cars, and it was quite an event, and a really nice picture that Diane has in her office that kind of showcases that. But what happened less than a year later is that one of our engineering companies that we work with a lot was invited to Boise to an Idaho State Engineers something big celebration kind of thing, and they were recognized as their project with the Greens Ferry Bridge was recognized as the best in state of Idaho at that time, and they invited Diane and I went also, but only because they invited us. But then they brought us up there also and talked about the relationship and the working together that we had with the engineering firm and all of the necessary players for the approvals and so on. And they gave us a really nice plaque that is in the office over there that was, I don't know if they called this outstanding something, but it was related to the efforts in corporate cooperation with the city and with the engineering firm, and that was Welsh Comer?
No, it was JUB.
JUB, yes, JUB Engineers, sorry. But anyway, that's vivid in my mind, and I think quite a few of the people on this dais were involved in that heavily, and we're very proud of it. Everybody should be. The community should be very proud of it. Those flags fly every day, and the city has been replacing them when they get tattered. They put them up and put them down at the appropriate times. They're lit, so they're on all night. And there's a lot of motion that goes on when you see that driving under Grandpa's Bridge, as my grandchildren call it. And yeah, it's an outstanding project. I don't know if we'll ever have something bigger than that, but certainly, you know, Len, you were there, and Larry was there, and Colin, you were there, yeah.
Yep.
It was outstanding, the job that Diane and Tom Lean did, and our attorney walked us through a whole lot of dirt that we had to get through to clean it up, and so that we could make that happen. And I'm probably saying too much, but it was just it made me think back on the process. And Larry was down there crawling in the dirt under the freeway when the structure was being done, and making sure that they didn't over landscape the landscaping. And he's got a few stories he could tell you too.
He's also responsible for the addition of the 2 flags that are flying, as you pointed out.
Correct.
It was his idea.
Yeah. And there was quite a lot of, or at least some, discussion about possibly naming the bridge after somebody, prominent person in Post Falls. And I felt that really, you know, in 10 or 20 years, nobody would know who Joe Blow's bridge, who that person even was, let alone the, you know. Anyway, I felt that we ought to dedicate it to all those who serve others in any capacity. And that was pretty well decided on. The commission said, yeah, that makes sense. We're not zeroing in on any person, but anybody in Post Falls in this area or that's from this area that serves others, whether it's in the military or fire department, police department, healthcare, didn't matter. If you're serving other people, it's for you. And I had a discussion with our new commissioner a day or two ago about the bridge very briefly, and she's commented about how wonderful it was to have that. And I said, do you know that if you're on either the north or the south side and you look at the bridge, they don't look like the same bridge because of the design where it goes up and curves and back down again? It's a really strange view. If you think about it, look at it when you get a chance, when it just doesn't look like the same bridge. So anyway, enough from me. I don't know if anybody else has anything they'd like to say about it. But that's just my opinion on that. And I think I'd like to see us have some type of a press release because not only did we pay it off, 15 months early, something
Yes.
like that, we saved $50,000 of taxpayer money in it. And from 2013 to 2015, when we dedicated it, is basically 2 years. Have you heard of anybody building a bridge across a freeway in 2 years, start to finish? So I think it was a miracle, that's what it was, and I believe in miracles. There's anything else on the financing of the bridge that
Only that the construction was done on budget and on time. So that's a miraculous thing, too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I'd like to see us be sure and get some kind of a press release out about that. And we have one more thing we have to do, and that is make a motion to authorize the transfer of the funds so we can pay it off.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the transfer of funds to pay off the Greens Ferry Overpass Bridge.
Second.
Is there a second? Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Clemenson,
Aye.
Coles,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Baltzell,
Aye.
Carstensen,
Aye.
Crosby,
Aye.
and Fleshman.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you all very much. And that was a wonderful opportunity, so. Okay, let's see, staff report and updates.
I want to remind you guys of the strategic planning session on November 30th from 1 to 5 p.m. And I think that was all I had. Joe? Did you have anything else you want to add?
That is all.
Well, I'm going to let Joe run the December commission meeting, so I will sit over in his chair, and he will be sitting in mine, so that'll be a good transition also.
Diane, is the venue for that at the chamber, or is it at the city?
It is in the
Chamber.
chamber, in the
Chamber. Good.
conference room.
Thank you.
Are you bringing sandwiches?
We can.
I'm only kidding.
Chairman always gets to the important things.
I know.
Okay, I'll feed the people. Okay, commissioner comments. Any commissioners have anything they'd like to comment on? They got put you all to sleep here a few minutes ago, huh?
I just say I've been working with the staff on the outline for the strategic planning session. I think we have a great session set up, lots of interesting things to discuss. There'll be some materials that'll be sent out to you prior to the meeting. I hope you'll have a chance to review those and look at them. I think they're all relevant to things we're discussing, and Joe and Diane have done a great job putting that together, and with very little direction from me. So,
Good,
look forward to it.
okay, excellent. Any other commissioner comments? Okay, my turn, chairman comments, and I think I've said enough. So, I would entertain a motion to adjourn if.
So
So move.
Okay, moved and
Second.
Second, any questions or whatever? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.